The purpose of this speech is to inform the audience of the history and various aspects of pharmacology. Pharmacology is the observations and interactions maintained between living organisms and chemical substances. The development of pharmaceuticals has led to increasing discoveries of biochemical functions. Pharmacology has no exact start date, as stated by scientists who have contributed to the foundation of pharmaceutical drugs. Research on pharmacology explains the scientific advances, experiments, and studies performed throughout history to explore the various aspects of medicine. The emergence of pharmacology techniques used to experiment and the development of major concepts contributed to the technology and history of the pharmaceutical industry. Although pharmacology maintains an equal balance between drugs and its effects on living organisms, the industry has emerged as a complete separate science. The emergence of pharmacology began in 1847. As stated by Stanley Schleiden, a doctor of medicine, pharmacology is the study of medicine and the action of drugs, effects of chemical substances on cells and living organisms for the fitness of each individual. Methods for development of new medicine are presented by Stanley in the article A Brief History of Pharmacology. Methods include screening for mechanism activity, discovering the mode of action, and quantifying the activity of certain drugs. The scientist Frederick Roller developed the synthesis organic chemistry and synthesized urea from inorganic substances. Early knowledge obtained in the 1800s allows for scientists to emerge with experiments and new technique discoveries. Scientific techniques played a major role in the gradual uprise of pharmaceuticals. Stanley Schleiden, an experimentist, led first-hand experiments in the discoveries of electrochemical measurements. Founder of pharmacology from Germany, Schleidenberg proved that electrical stimulation of the vagus nerve occurred with the effect of muscarine on the heart. Schleidenberg published Outline of Pharmacology in 1878 and proved urethane as a hypnotic in 1855. Scientists Kolliker and Mueller experimented with frogs and discovered the electrical activity of the heart. They observed synchronous muscle action to occur. A device known as a kymograph records motion or pressure. Force transducers transmit organ and tissue movements. Mechanical transmission to a stylet occurs when the muscle produces contraction and relaxation. Scientists Henrik Magnus, Jean-Francois, and Claude Bernard experimented on organ tissues. They found that organs are still functional for several hours, even if maintained in a salt environment. Early developments in a technology led to an enormous amount of conceptual drug mechanisms. The development of major concepts allowed the pharmaceutical industry. Enzymatic actions on cell receptors allow the chemical to activate or inactivate specific functions. This is described by scientist Gene Hawkins. Early scientist Paul Ehrlich was first to propose the function of cell receptors in living organisms. Captopril is a medication developed in the 1900s that attaches to the angiotensin converting enzyme and reduces blood pressure by inhibiting the active site. Propranolol was the first non-selective beta-adrenergic drug produced to reduce various heart problems, as explained in the article A Brief History of ECG by Dean Jenkins. Physician Douglas Fix explains that humoral immunity beneficially affects the mechanisms of the immune system. Humoral immunity is a response in body fluids created by your immune system. Secreted antibodies developed through antibiotic drugs. Antibodies that bind to the antigen and allow the removal of foreign substances. Foreign antigens such as bacteria or viruses that are found in the body fluids of living organisms, as stated by Douglas Fix in the document titled Humoral Immunity. Pharmacology played a major role in the development of medicated remedies throughout history and specifically advanced during war. The emergence of pharmacology techniques used to experiment in the development of major concepts contributed to the technology and history of pharmacology. Today, many people take drugs on a daily basis to reduce blood pressure, pain, and cholesterol. The development of early concepts has impacted society by the continuance of drug manufacturing and technological advances. Thank you.